Voting has started. Prime Minister Modi has already cast his vote. We have members of parliament, 788 of them, casting their vote to choose the next vice president of the country. Now, Margaret Alva has also spoken to India Today, Milan, in which, interestingly, I found that rather interesting that she spoke about the role of Jagdeep Dhankhar as the governor of West Bengal. Interestingly, indirectly drawing a link between the fact, Milan, that the TMC is abstaining from voting. Hence, that could hurt her and benefit Dhankhar, isn't it?
Definitely there, because even as we speak, if we look at the numbers that you've also seen, around 527 votes can be expected for Jagdeep Dhankhar. That is far higher than the 370 odd votes that we are expecting for Margaret Alva, giving Jagdeep Dhankhar ji the clear edge in front of her. But the way opposition rallied for the presidential elections, they have not been perhaps able to come together for the vice presidential elections, because Draupadi Murmu, the way she was elected, she did receive resounding support from other parties like JMM, as well as Naveen Patnaik's party in Odisha, because she happens to be from Odisha. She happens to be from a tribal segment of a community that needs uplifting in the country as well. But when we're looking at this particular vice presidential election, this has nothing to do with where Margaret Alva is from and where Jagdeep Dhankhar is from. It's not really, an election that would perhaps be decided on the identity of the candidate, but rather the party or the ideology of the candidate at this moment, because Margaret Alva happens to be the opposition's face for the vice presidential elections, while Jagdeep Dhankhar, their governor of West Bengal, happens to be the face of BJP, and BJP has rallied a lot of NDA support as well for him, which would perhaps lead to a marginally higher advantage to Jagdeep Dhankhar over Miss Margaret Alva.
All right, at the end of the day, boils down to perception, and the NDA looks pretty confident of Jagdeep Dhankhar getting a rather smooth sail as far as the numbers are concerned. Remember, the halfway mark is 391. With the NDA and the allies joining in, like there are others also outside of the NDA, the BSP, the TDP, Naveen Patnaik's party also joining in. It does appear that the numbers are going to go well beyond the halfway mark of 391. But like Margaret Alva told us earlier also, that she is in fact fighting this for a win. Nothing can be ruled out. More than 20 parties have voted, are going to be voting for me, she said, is what she said. Also expressing unhappiness about the fact that at this point in time, when opposition unity is extremely important, the upper house, Milan, needs to function right, and the spirit of parliamentary democracy needs to be kept alive. Where there is so much acrimony between the government and the opposition, the TMC is choosing to abstain. That's something that she is extremely unhappy about, Milan.
Well, yes, largely so, because even if the meetings that have been held with the opposition camp, with Mallikarjun Kharge also thanking the opposition MPs who have supported Margaret Alva in the vice presidential elections, it goes to say that the BJP and the NDA allied parties are together in this particular respect to elect Jagdeep Dhankhar. And certainly, if you speak about the functioning of both the lower house as well as the upper house, the Rajya Sabha, the strength of the TMC in Rajya Sabha is also 16, and that would also affect the voting. But the possibilities of cross-voting there, because even if the half mark is crossed, it would be interesting to see that while the opposition openly supports Margaret Alva, would they be cross-voting for Jagdeep Dhankhar? Because that will also be a resultant of the understanding of what the opposition leaders or MPs also want for the country and for the functioning of the parliament. And that is where the crux lies, because the last time as well, if there was cross-voting and was done by a few MPs of the Congress party as well in favor of the President of India's BJP candidate, then therefore this possibility cannot be ruled out against Sneha, that there could be cross-voting, besides the fact that the TMC decides to abstain completely from participating in the process of choosing one over the other this time. Back to you.
Milan, I'll keep coming back to you for more on that developing story. Remember, the voting continues till 5 o'clock. Results expected at about 7:30 p.m. this evening.